Hello, my bomb blowers and module masters, and today I am here with another Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes modded module tutorial, and today I am here with the module, the orange button. It's not really well known how to do it, but in this tutorial I will tell the strategy on how to do the orange button. The orange button does not require any edge work, so we can go ahead and get started once we get our bomb. So let's take this one. This module has a button, it is orange, and 8 LEDs making rotations around the button. The LEDs can be spinning either clockwise or counterclockwise. And so, what we need to do is determine the ratio between the time it takes the 8 LEDs to make a full rotation and the time between changes to the LEDs. This sounds weird at first. So what we need to do is find this ratio. Your first thought may be to measure the time that it takes in seconds for the LEDs to make a rotation, and the time it takes in seconds for the LEDs to change color. That is not how it works. This is a fractional amount of seconds, so precise that it is nearly incalculable by human eyes. So we're going to have to find a different way to find this ratio. So what we're going to do is make a time interval. The time interval that we're going to use is given any one LED, the number of times that it takes for the said LED to change colors in the same exact spot. So we're going to call this interval of time Z, which is time it takes for one LED to change in the same spot. Now, we're going to find the number of times that the LEDs make a full rotation in Z. So it's 1Z over X, where X is equal to the number of times that the LEDs make a full rotation. And we're going to divide this by Z over Y, where Y is the number of times that the LEDs change color in this interval. So Z will only ever occur one time in this time interval. The LEDs will make a full rotation however many times that they do in said interval, and the LEDs will change color however many times they do in said interval. So it's 1 over X divided by 1 over Y. And as you can see, given this fraction, this is the same as Y over X. So what we're going to do is, first of all, measure the number of times that the LEDs change color in the interval of the time it takes for one LED to change color in the same spot, and then we're going to measure the number of times that the LEDs make a full rotation in the time interval of the time it takes for one LED to change color in the same spot. So let's do this. We're going to pick one random LED. Let's take this one. We're going to wait for it to change color again. Keep track of that location, which is around here. And then, first, measure the number of times the LEDs change color before that LED goes back to our mark spot. And then, we're going to do the same thing again, except instead of counting the number of times the LEDs change color, we're going to count the number of laps that the LEDs make before they change color in the same spot. So let's do this. We're going to pick this LED and wait for it to change color, find the spot where it changed. So around here. Now we're going to count the number of LED changes that occur before that same LED changes color in the spot where my mouse currently is. So we're currently at 2 flickers, and the LED has not made it into the same spot. Now we're at 3. 4. 5. 6, 7, 8. So it was 8 times that the LEDs flickered in the amount of time it took for one LED to change colors in the same spot. Now, we're going to measure the number of laps that the LEDs make before any one LED changes color in the same spot. Let's pick this LED. Wait for it to turn off. And here we go. 1 lap. 2 laps. 3 laps. 4 laps. 5 laps. 6 laps. 7 laps. 8 laps. 9 laps. So it took 9 laps for any one LED to change color in the same spot. This is the ratio. This ratio should already be in the simplest form, meaning that we can't reduce it further. If you got something like 9/3, then something is wrong, because this reduce should be 3/1. So if you get something that doesn't reduce, if you get something that does reduce, then recheck the intervals of time, recheck the number of times that the LED changed color and the rotations in the interval. So we have 8 and 9. What we're going to do is hold the button when the last digit of the timer is the first number, and then release it when the last digit of the timer is the second number. So let's do this. I did just miss 8, so we're going to have to wait a second. I'll just go ahead and strike to make the timer go faster. 8, 9, and that's a solved module. Now, if the LEDs are moving counterclockwise, do the same but with the numerator and denominator swapped. So for this module, if the LEDs were going counterclockwise, we would have held on 9 and released on 8. Let's go ahead and find an example of a module that does have to go counterclockwise, this one. It's on the opposite side of the bomb timer, so I'm just going to have to keep a mental note of the last digit of the timer when we get to that part, but first, we gotta measure the number of LEDs. So because we're flipping the fraction, we're going to measure the number of times they make a rotation, and then the number of times that they change color. So let's find our lucky little LED. This one. We'll change color again. And here we go. Counting the number of laps this time. 1, 2, 3, 4 now. 5. So our first number is 5, and now we're going to measure the number of times the LED changed color. That one. So we're going to count the number of LED changes before they change to the same position. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it was 4 times. So we're going to hold on a 5 and release on a 4. 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the module is solved. This module is confusing, so if you don't understand something, please ask me in the comments. I will try to answer as many questions as I can. Thank Thank you for watching the tutorial, and have a nice day.